Hi guys, welcome to the video. Wano's Photos here, and this video is a response to the Mapdeck review of the Zipp wheels. And he had some problems with the bearings and fitting the bearings, and he was saying that the bearings have to be fitted around a certain way. So what that means is there's two dust seals that go on, and there's different colors, and you have to have the right color facing outwards. Now what they're there for is to basically just keep muck and dirt out. They don't actually add to the rolling of the bearing. In fact, in some cases they actually add a minute amount of resistance. But what he was saying is you obviously Zipp say you need to fit the Zipp bearings, you can't fit any other bearings, and this needs to be facing out. But the problem that he was having is you just can't get the Zipp bearings. So he was using aftermarket bearings, and he was finding that those bearings were giving some noise only after a couple of rides. So that's why I contacted Zipp to find that out. But I've got some different views on that assessment. So let's roll an intro and let's have a talk about these Zipp wheels and what could possibly be the issue here. Well, Zipp wheels for over decades have had a bit of a poor reputation. And what I mean by that is they are renowned for having poor hubs. And there's actually a wheel builder, very well-known, competent wheel builder here in WA, and he's got a whole box of Zipp hubs that is changed out. And even the retailers here in WA even asked the Australian distributor, Zipp Australian distributor, if we could spec them with DT Swiss hubs. And they said no, they only will come with Zipp hubs. And the other problem I've had with Zipp hubs is when I wanted to go from a Shimano cassette to a Campagnolo cassette, then I couldn't unless I sent them back to Zipp. You can't just do it easily like you can with a DT Swiss system or other branded systems. So that is a pain in the neck if you got these type of wheels. And I also found the Zipp wheels I had, which was the 404s, which were actually quite old, probably about 15 years old. I've unsold them now. They were very flexy. So I didn't think much of them for the hype and the brand name and what you pay for them. Now, getting back to the bearings, what I think's happening here is this is not so much about the bearing being fitted the correct way. I think what's happening is the dust seal that they put on the outside is probably a little bit better having an intimate contact between the outer casing and the inner casing because it faces out, and that's where the dirt and muck can get in. And what that's acting as, it's acting as a frequency dampener. So what it's doing is it's those little creaks and noises, that little dust cover that's in there that's usually like made out of some polymer or type device is attenuating the frequency of the noises or the bearing noise or the movement in the hub that then causes that creaking and that sound. It's not the fact that you've put them in correctly and the bearing itself is doing anything different, because they're just normal radial bearings. There's nothing special about them. Whether you take them out and you put in another brand, could be a really good brand, they should work just exactly the same as advertised, because all you're doing is putting a dust cover outwards. It's just a dust cover. So that is my interpretation of what I feel could be what's making the difference here with the Mapdeck study he's done, where he's had two sets of wheels, and after just a couple of rides they're starting to get some noises, some creaks. He didn't actually record the noise, so we don't know exactly what it is, but that's what I would put it down to. I'd put it down to those seals are acting as an attenuator or dampening to any noise or frequency. It's been muted so you can't hear it, or it's a much lower, or it's attenuating it completely. But with the price tag of Zipp wheels, I personally can't really recommend them. If you look at their history and you look at the issues and you look at the way that you have to fit the Zipp bearings, you can't fit any other bearings, you have to send them back if you want to get the hubs changed. I don't know if that's still the same, probably is. They're backed by SRAM, which some people kind of indicate that SRAM's QC is not the best. and you're paying top tier money for them. And with the wheels that are coming onto the market at the moment, which you can get for about half the price, and are really high-end wheels with carbon spokes and so forth, I would probably advise people to shop around a bit more, look at some reviews, because I think that there is much better value on the market, and not just value for price versus quality, but price and you're getting better quality. So you're paying less price and you're getting a better quality. And this is kind of a really strange thing, because normally you would imagine a higher end wheel or a higher end bike, the more you pay, you're getting a better made. In some way they're using better materials, or the quality control is better. Okay guys, well that's where I'm going to leave it about Zipp wheels. So just have a second thought if you're thinking about Zipps, because I do think there's better products out there on the market that can do a better job for you and are a better wheel. And leave your comments down below about, have you had Zipp wheels? Have you had a good experience with Zipp wheels in the past? Or have you had Zipp wheels? Have you had a bad experience? So we can share that with the community. And also guys, I don't ask you very often, but can you give us a subscribe if you're one of those ninja watchers? And also hit that like button. That'd be really appreciated. It helps out the channel, and it spreads this information out to more people, because this is like a product information that could really help someone decide to buy their wheel that they're going to be really happy with. Okay guys, that's where I'm going to leave it, and I'll see you next vid.